For 3 videos, we have been studying the passive voice as non-continuous, of course. Yes, we started with the simple present tense, passive as non-continuous, and then we studied simple past tense, non-continuous passive, and now in this lesson, we are going to finish the non-continuous tense or simple tenses, and in this video, we are going to study non-continuous simple future passive. Okay. For example, with one sentence for each, there was a meeting, for example. There was a meeting. What was eaten in the meeting? Pizza was eaten. Yes, pizza was eaten, simple past tense. Is pizza eaten in your meetings? Yes, usually pizza eaten in our meetings, simple present tense, non-continuous. Now, for example, for tomorrow meetings, what will be eaten? Again, as usual, pizza will be eaten. Pizza will be eaten in tomorrow's meeting. Yeah, sometimes they say it is in the meeting, at the meeting. Okay, I am not certain about it, but I think both are correct, yes. At the meeting tomorrow, pizza will be eating. Yes, okay, hello everyone and welcome again. So trip 9, the video before the last video, about trip 10. So trip 10 will be about perfect and perfect continuous passive voice, but this video will be about simple feature and modal passive voice as non-continuous, and then we will start perfect, past perfect, present perfect, future perfect passive sentences, and in the at the end of those presentations, we will study the continuous form, the 6 continuous form of passive voice as past, present, and future. Now let's finish up non-continuous tense with simple present, simple past, and simple future. Okay, we have studied, as you know, we have studied the simple present, simple past as non-continuous. Now it's time to study the simple feature and modal passive voice as non-continuous. Yes. For example, the guests will drink turnip juice after the ceremony. Turnip, this is turnip here. Yes, turnip juice after the ceremony, after the meeting. Dialogue 1. This is active voice, simple future tense. The guests will drink turnip juice after the ceremony. Dialogue 1. Turnip juice will be drunk. Turnip juice will be drunk after the ceremony. Passive voice, yes. What else will be served after the ceremony? What else will be served? Lahmacun will be served after the ceremony. Spanish tapas will be served after the ceremony. And meat, rice, and meat bulgur will be served after the ceremony, but they will be served in small portions. No, we will visit the sales manager. This is active sentence, okay? Active, simple, future. We will visit the sales manager. Dialogue 2A. The sales manager will be visited by us. Who else will be visited? The CEO will be visited. Or the marketing manager will also be visited. Our club will invite a famous actor for an interview. Active sentence, okay? Now, what about the passive form? A celebrity chef will be invited for an interview. A celebrity chef will be invited for an interview. Who else will be invited later? Yes, later on, a famous actor will be invited as well. And then an actor will be invited. And then a writer will be invited. And after that, a DJ will be invited consecutively, sequentially, or respectively. Okay, sequentially. Okay, I think none of you consider them as difficult. I think none of you consider them as difficult. I think none of them can be considered as difficult. Okay. Now holding a meeting. Dialogue 4. A meeting will be held, will be organized by the club members at 3 o'clock on Wednesday. What topics will be discussed? Passive voice. What topics will be discussed? Okay. Climate change will be discussed first, and then the COVID-19 pandemic will be discussed, and then the following week, global media will be discussed, and online meetings will be discussed, global business will be discussed, and economy, the topic economy will be discussed sequentially or consecutively. Dialogue 5, the project will be written, okay, or the project must be written, should be written, ought to be written, has to be written, needs to be written, may be written, might be written. These are all possible from the point of structure, okay? Okay, how must the report be written? The report must be typed, okay? The report must be typed. 6A, a pedagogue can be interviewed, okay? Or a pedagogue may be interviewed at the language club. But if you have decided, if you have make up your mind, so you can say a pedagogue will be interviewed at the language club this week. Who else can be interviewed? A sociologist can be interviewed. A teacher can be interviewed. A businessman can be interviewed. Yes, etc., etc. These student activities should be tried, should be developed, should be maintained, should be developed like geraniums and begonias, because they are so beautiful. Those activities are as beautiful as begonias, geraniums, as those beautiful flowers. Dialogue 7A. Logical questions should be asked, but how many questions should be asked? At least 3 questions should be asked, or minimum 30 questions, maximum 50 questions should be asked. 8. Lake Sapanja should be visited in spring because it is so beautiful in spring. Or Lake Sapanja need be as a model. need be visited in spring, or needs to be visited in spring. Modal phrase needs to be visited in spring, or ought to be visited in spring. What else should be visited in spring? Uludağ should be visited in spring as well. To make egg and potato salad. Yes, dialogue 9. Eggs and potatoes have to be boiled first. What has to be done next? Parsley pieces have to be sprinkled over them. Some olive oil and vinegar has to be added. Rainforests shouldn't or mustn't or can't be destroyed. What else should be protected? Of course, all animal species should be protected. Rainforests should be protected and animal species should be protected as well. Okay, 11a. Children need to ask questions, or children have to ask. Who needs to be asked questions? Of course, teachers needs to be asked questions. Passive. Teachers needs to be asked questions. Teachers have to be asked questions. Now, in parentheses, who should ask questions? The students should ask questions, active voice. Who should be asked questions by the students? The teacher should be asked questions by them, by the students. Once in a while, we have to be reminded about our parents. What else do we have to be reminded once in a while? Our beloved ones have to be reminded once in a while. Yes, we have to remind them, but somebody else has to remind them to us. So they have to be reminded by the old, for example. Yes, so we need reminders. Reminders are needed, okay, for us, by us. Okay, 12b. Once in a while, our parents have to be reminded to us. Our parents have to be reminded to us by our relatives, for example. What else has to be reminded to us once in a while? Our beloved ones, all our beloved ones have to be reminded to us once in a while. Yes, so we need reminders. Reminders are needed by us. 13a. The purple package had to be posted or had to be mailed yesterday morning. What else had to be posted? The documents had to be posted. The reports had to be posted, so we posted them in British English. We mailed them in American English. Okay, two objects as direct object and indirect object with certain verbs, such as tell, say, show, pass, give, bring, ask, lend, teach, write, hand, offer, read, throw, take. Yes, these verbs can take two objects, okay, in a sentence. Here, the verb needs a direct object first. For example, they gave a watch, but whom? Who did they give a watch? So they gave Jale the watch, or they gave the watch to Jale, to her. This is interesting, isn't it? They gave her the watch, not to, but they gave the watch to her. It is valid for all these verbs written blue, as blue. Okay. For example, They gave her a watch as a reward. They gave a watch to her as a reward. She was given a watch as a reward with the indirect object, yes, and this is preferred. She was given a watch, she was given a watch as a reward, or a watch was given to her as a reward with direct object. Of course, the headings are not important. This is so. This is like this. He sent them a good book, okay? Or them becomes they. They were sent a good book. 2.2, a good book was sent to them, okay? A good book was sent to them. But they were sent, we don't need to use to. But here, we need to use to. We have to use to. A good book was sent to them by him. 3. She brought us a bouquet, a bunch of flowers, a bouquet or a bunch of, a bouquet of flowers. So she brought us. Us becomes we. We were brought a bouquet of flowers, or a bouquet of flowers was, because bouquet is singular, a bouquet of flowers was brought to us by her, because she brought, bring, brought. Third form and the second form are the same. She brought, simple past, but a bouquet of flowers was brought, past participle, was brought to us. You should read a story to your child, okay? You should read a story. You must read a story. You will read. This is your duty. You will read a story to your child every evening. From now on, in the future, you will read. You should read. You must read. You may read. You might read. You could read. You need to read. You have to read. Okay. You should read your child a story every evening. You should read a story to your child. You should read your child a story, not two. Your child should be read, okay? Your child should be read a story every evening. A story should be read to your child every evening. 5. They always ask me irrelevant questions, but I always give relevant answers to them. So I am always asked irrelevant questions, but they are always given relevant, suitable, useful answers to them. Irrelevant questions are asked to me, but relevant answers are given to them. Okay. Now, active voice. What amazes you, active? What amazes you? What surprises you? What bothers you? What annoys you? What excites you? What amazes you? Okay, these are so practical and we really need them very often in daily English or in everyday English. Or passive voice, what are you amazed at? What are you amazed at? I am amazed at. I am amazed at beautiful songs. Yes. So beautiful songs amaze me. Okay, beautiful songs amaze me. So I am amazed at beautiful songs. To amaze, as you know, active, amazing, participle, present participle, amazes, simple present tense, amaze, plain form of the verb 1, amazed, regular verb, because it is a regular verb, and verb 2 and 3, amazed. Now, Adjectives with prepositions, these are so important. Hakan's job satisfies him. Do you see? This is a normal active sentence. Hakan's job satisfies him. Pleases him. Yes. Hakan's job amazes him, astonishes him, interests him. Hakan's job satisfies him. So passive voice, him. Hakan's job satisfies Hakan, him. So Hakan is satisfied, okay? Hakan is satisfied. Hakan is pleased. As you know, all the verb trees are adjectives as well. So happy with, okay? Because of, due to, owing to his job. Due to his job. Hakan is satisfied due to his job. Because of his job. Yes. Who is pleased with his or her lessons? Meliha is pleased with her lessons. Her lessons pleases. Oh, sorry, plural subject. Her lessons please Meliha. So Meliha is pleased with her lessons. Okay. Writing reports. Yeah. Writing reports interest Meli. Okay. Active. Writing reports excites Meli. Meli is excited by or with writing reports. Okay. Meli is interested in writing reports. Who is disappointed with his work? Sadık is disappointed with his work. Sadık's work disappoints, active, disappoints him. So Sadık is disappointed, passive, disappointed with his work. 16a, this program is divided into two parts. Okay, we divide, they divide this program into two parts. Passive, this program is divided into two parts. Are you bored with or pleased with them? So I am pleased with them. They please me. They don't bore me. So I am not bored with them. I am pleased with them. Okay, but if you are bored with them, they always bore you. Okay? Now, 17. Antalya is situated in the south or on the south coast of Turkey. Where is Kars situated? These are all passive sentences, in fact. But as you know, all the verb trees are adjectives as well. Where is Kars situated? Kars is the city. Kars is situated on the northeast of Turkey. This box is made of wood. Okay, this box is made of wood. They always make this box from wood. Okay, so this box is made from wood or of wood. This box is made of wood. What is that basket made of? That basket is made of carton. Paper. Erhan always encourages, these are really important. Erhan always encourages his friend, active. Erhan's friend is always encouraged by him. So Erhan is encouraging here, but Erhan's friend is encouraged to do something, to achieve something, to do good things. Melih is interested in writing reports. Writing reports interests Melih. Now, plural subject. Okay, sorry. Delete S here. Writing reports interest Melih. So Melih is interested in writing reports. That issue doesn't interest me, for example. Active. That issue doesn't interest me. Or in passive, sorry, again, it interests Melih. Now subject is singular. It interests Melih. So I am not, let's go on. It doesn't interest you either. Huh? That issue doesn't interest you either. Active, these are all active from here. Now passive, I am not interested in that issue. Melih is interested in it. You are not interested in it either. So beautiful. Okay, now what satisfies Hakan? Okay, active voice. What satisfies Hakan? What pleases Hakan? His job satisfies Hakan. Or in short, active voice, his job does. Yes. What satisfies Hakan? His job does. What is Hakan satisfied with? Hakan is satisfied with his job. What pleases Hakan? His job pleases him. Active. So Hakan is pleased with his job. Do you see the practicability of, yes, those expressions? We need them very much in our everyday language. Okay, passive with get. This is also important. Get plus verb 3. Now, informal and as informal and be without planning, expecting. Okay, C can always be replaced with be. Can always be replaced with be, verb 3. Yes, you can always put, if you want, be instead of, in place of get. Okay, get verb 3 means be verb 3. For example, he got lost in London last month, or he was lost in London. Okay, he was lost in London. He got lost in London. I got caught by the police driving at 140 kilometers per hour. So I was caught is also possible. True. Yes, I was caught by the police is also true. Correct. 3. They both got wounded, okay? Or they both were wounded, hurt, injured when they fell off the roof. Fell off somewhere. 4. Why does he get bored at home during the term holiday? Why does she get bored at home during the term holiday? Yes. Or why is she bored? Okay, why is she bored at home during the term holiday? 5. Subject get plus arrested, attacked, broken, burned, caught, damaged, elected. Yes, that president got elected, for example. Do you think that president will get elected? Yes, when it comes to the passive voice, lots of things come to my mind, but I have to stop. I have to block them now, and let's concentrate on a few points. Yes. Okay. For example, let's take this sentence: Cook will be drunk. Cook will be drunk at the next meeting. So we cannot think of a passive sentence without verb 3, drink, drank, drunk. This is the first one. In all kinds of passive sentences, there should be, there must be the verb 3. This is the first point. The second point, and again, we cannot think of, we cannot imagine a passive voice without be or variations of be, as, am, is, are, was, were, being. Yes, and be itself as it is here. For example, again, Cook will be drunk. Yes. Or Cook is drunk at every meeting. Cook was drunk at the last meeting. So we have studied the simple present, simple past, and simple future. Now, from now on, we are going to study the non-continuous perfect tenses. In addition to these, simple present, simple past, and simple future. Okay. Of course, we should keep the same tense, or we should pay attention to the tense of the passive sentence. For example, here is a long sentence, but there is only one simple present tense passive sentence. Is compared. It is compared to or is compared with. When the landing of a crow on the left or a seagull on the right, on a street right, is compared, without compared to the landing of an airplane at an airport. There are both similarities and differences in the two events. Yes. So is compared here, compared is verb 3, is to be, one of the variation of to be. Okay, now so far we have been studying on the non-continuous sentences as simple present, simple past, and simple future. For example, we have studied these all three. Roman number 1, cook is drunk at every evening. Yes, simple present. Well, you can make thousands of sentences, millions of sentences like this. Rock music is listened. Okay. Roman number 2, cook was drunk at the last meeting. A simple past tense of passive. Cook was drunk at the last meeting. Roman number 3, cook will be drunk at the next meeting. Will be drunk. Okay. So, is drunk, was drunk, be drunk, maybe will be drunk, can be drunk, should be drunk, must be drunk, has to be drunk, or used to be drunk. Okay. Being drunk with perfect tenses. Has been drunk or had been drunk. Yes. We will study those perfect. After Roman number 3, in Roman number 4, we will start studying the perfect tenses as present perfect, past perfect, and future perfect passive voice sentences, starting with the present perfect tense passive voice. How is it? It's like this. For example, active voice sentence. This is active voice. They have drunk, okay? They have drunk Coke all afternoon. Dialogue 19a. Now it is present perfect passive voice. Coke has been drunk, okay? Coke has been drunk all afternoon. What has been eaten? What has been eaten? Pasta has been eaten, or Turkish ravioli. Turkish ravioli has been eaten. Okay. Eat, ate, eaten. Eaten, verb 3. Being is one of the variations of to be. Again. Dialogue 28. An exhibition of paintings has been organized. Okay, has been organized. What else has been organized? A fundraising meeting has been organized, or a debate has been organized. A meeting, just a meeting, has been organized. Or a trip to London. A trip to London has been organized. 21. Kenan has been injured. Kenan has been injured. Who else has been injured? Jasmine has been injured too. We have been affected. We have been affected by the exhibition. Who has been surprised? Mahmut and Meral have been surprised by the exhibition. Who has been excited? My neighbor Hasan Bey has been excited. Yes. Who has been persuaded? Who has been persuaded to buy a painting? Robert has been persuaded to buy a painting. Okay. Of course, it is also necessary, we should know, we have studied in full presentations up to now, all the tenses. Yes, a person should know, has to know, a person has to know all the tenses, all the active voice tenses to understand the passive voice sentences. Okay. Now here, for example, agent is the doer of the action, the performer of the action. Action is not necessary here. Let's pay attention to the three sentences. Sentence one, Selim's latest story has been completed. There is no need to say by Selim, by him. Yes, because it is very clear that Selim's latest story has been completed. So it has a connection with the present, has just been, okay, has just been completed. Two, my umbrella has been stolen. Yes, my umbrella has been stolen. So do we need to use by someone? No, there is no need to use by someone here, but it is 100% true. For the sake of good English, we don't use by someone. It is the waste of vocabulary. My umbrella has been stolen is enough to give the message. The last sentence, the thief was arrested. Okay, so who arrests a thief? Yes, everybody knows that the police arrest a thief, so there is no need to say the thief was arrested by the police. By the police. Okay, it is the job, it is the business of the police to arrest the thieves. So the thief was arrested is enough. This is a detail. Okay, now, so we have also finished present perfect tense, that something has completed again, but it has a connection, relation with the present time. Okay. Now this is completely about the past. Okay, it doesn't have a relation with the present. The past perfect tense, passive voice. Aisha had told them the end of the story. Last year, 2 years ago, Aisha had told them the end of the story before they left the school, for example. So again, let me remind you, we have to pay attention to the tense of the active sentence when we need to change it into passive voice. We should keep the tense, or what else can we say about the importance of tense here? We should stick to, okay, we should stick to the tense. Okay, we should be careful about not changing the tense. We should keep the tense. Okay, so this is past perfect tense. Aisha had told them the end of the story. 23. They had been. Them is object pronoun, so it becomes subject of the sentence. So it becomes subject pronoun like this, they. Okay. I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they, subject pronouns. They had been told. They had been told the end of the story. Or, because there are two objects here, them is object, the end of the story is also object. So, the end of the story had been told to them by Aisha is also possible. What else had been told to them? The summary of, okay? The summary of the previous story, the summary of the last story had been told to them as well. Had been. Now, Roman number 6, the last one, the future perfect tense, passive voice. Okay. Active sentence, okay, we studied this a lot. We have studied it in full presentations. The authorities will have announced the results by the weekend. Okay, this is active sentence. The authorities will have announced, present perfect. So, sorry, future perfect tense. 24a. Now, this is future perfect passive. The results will have been announced. How many certificates will have been given? 23 certificates will have been given to the attendees, to the participants. Now, again, a quick summary. Let's remember this. We have studied the non-continuous, okay, not non-continuous sentences. They were not continuous, they were non-continuous, like by using is drunk, was drunk, or are drunk, were drunk, be drunk, will be drunk, should be drunk, and now being drunk, has been drunk, had been drunk, have been drunk. Okay. Now, let's read the example sentences, 6 non-continuous passive tenses, starting from Roman number 4. Coke has been drunk at the meeting, okay? Has just finished. Coke has been drunk at the meeting. Everybody feels the taste of the Coke. You know this from the active voice, okay? Or rock music has been listened. Okay, rock music has been listened. Roman number 5, Coke had been drunk at the last meeting. Coke had been drunk at the last meeting. And the last one that we studied in the previous, just in the previous page, Roman number 6, Coke will have been drunk at the meeting, at the next meeting. Okay. Coke will have been drunk, will have been drunk. Now, this is a quite interesting and useful page. It is worth screenshotting. Yes, the use of to be from the very beginning. Okay, let's remember to be from the very beginning of our program, from the beginner level, for example. Yes, after is, are, am, was, were, have been, has been, had been, will be, won't be, cannot be, must be, should be, have to be, had to be. Yes, we use prepositions. Do you know? Yes. Let me not give examples now because it will be longer. Yes, we use prepositions. Yes, they are in the car, for example. Yes, such as from, in, on, opposite, next to. Okay, proper nouns. Yes, Tony, to rule, after, to be, after, to be. This is the use of to be. For example, the doctor is to rule, he is to rule. Okay, a noun, a telephone. This is a telephone. That was a telephone. Books, they were books. Okay, capital. Yes, Ankara is the capital. London is the capital. Adjectives. He is old, they are new, etc. So do you see, do you recognize the importance of to be? Yes, these are all used after to be. These are all used passive sentences. Yes, so thank God we can make explanations by using passive voice as well. Okay, for example, going to, be going to, is going to, are going to. Be able to, yes, Ahmed is able to play the guitar. Okay, be to, they are to leave at 9 o'clock, or be about to, they are about to. Yes, time, high time. It is time to go, it is high time to go. Okay. It is about it's about to happen. An adjective noun, a tall boy, he is a tall boy, yes, object pronouns, that is me, okay, him, them, possessive pronouns, mine, those books are mine after to be, okay, the first, the second, this is the first part of a passive voice as non-continuous. For example, after this part, the continuous passive voice sentences will be, okay, the second part of our study. Yes, and this is very famous, verb ing. After to be, after all to be, okay? Yes, it is raining, it was raining, it has been raining, it had been raining, it will be raining, it must be raining, it should be raining, it has to be raining, it had to be raining, etc., etc. Yes, to be continuous, we need one of the to be variations to get verb ing, and just like this, we also need one of the to be variations to get being verb 3. Okay, this is the subject of our next videos. Okay. Okay, infinitives, to play, to adjectives, nouns with propositions, interested in. Okay, yes, we use, for example, we are interested in learning English, or we have been interested in, okay, we had been interested in learning English, or we will be interested in, we will have been interested in learning English in the future as well. And verb 3, played, drunk, spoken. Yes. Football is played here. Basketball is played here. Is played here. Verb 3. And verb, let me turn it in also red color because it is also important. Yes. Sorry. So verb ing, verb 3, and being verb 3, all three requires one of the variations forms of to be. Okay. You know this, in fact. So you have become familiar with the use of be. Okay, now again, this is really important. Please change the active sentence into passive ones, and then we will do a second study about changing the passive sentences into active ones. So what is the most important thing to remember? It is to pay attention to the tense of the sentence, okay? For example, active sentence 1. We respect the old people. Simple present tense. Likewise, we love the young people in our culture. Okay, so the old people is object. The old people are respected. Okay, the old people are respected. The young people are loved in our culture. This is the passive form. Let's take a look at the second one. We usually serve meat meals in Kurban Bayram. Simple present tense, okay. We usually serve meat meals. Meat meals is object. Here, let's make it subject of the passive sentence. Meat meals are served in Kurban Bayram. Third one, the three clowns performed a fantastic show together at the circus. The three clowns performed a fantastic show. This is the object. So let's change the object of the passive sentence, active sentence into the subject of the passive sentence like this. A fantastic show was performed by the three clowns together at the circus. For almost all the students tidied the conference room. So the conference room was tidied by almost all the students. 5, you can define. Sorry, you can find Demirhan Bey in the library. Demirhan Bey is object. You can find Demirhan Bey in the laboratory. So Demirhan Bey can be found. Find, found. Demirhan Bey can be found in the library. What about the 6? Selim will drive an Opel Vectra tomorrow. So an Opel Vectra will be driven. Driven. An Opel Vectra will be driven by Salim tomorrow. Yes, so simple, but it requires a mathematical attention. Yes, a scientific attention. Okay, there is a measure. Okay, mathematical measure. 7, the authorities opened the restored historic castle yesterday. So the restored historic castle is the object, and we make it subject of the passive sentence like this. The restored historic castle was opened by the authorities yesterday. Yes. 8, Erhan identified the 2 criminals. So the 2 criminals were identified by Erhan. So it is necessary to use by Erhan here. By whom were they identified? They were identified by Erhan active. Passive form. Active form, Erhan identified the 2 criminals. Okay. The next one, Türkan usually arranges, simple present tense. Türkan usually arranges the flowers. So the flowers are usually arranged by Türkan. Türkan usually presents her grandmother flowers. So her grandma, or Türkan's grandma is usually presented flowers by Türkan, or flowers are usually presented to Türkan's grandma by her. Okay. 10, Selim and Serkan will organize the meeting. Selim and Serkan will organize. So you can include all the models here as simple models. Okay. Selim and Serkan can organize, must organize, has to organize the meeting. So with will, the meeting will be organized. Okay, the meeting will be organized by Selim and Serkan. 11, Yasin has written 3 stories so far. So 3 stories have been written. Okay, wrote, written again. So in all the 12 past, present, future tenses and modals, when they are passive, so we cannot think of them without verb 3. Okay. So Yasin has written 3 stories so far. 3 stories have been written by Yasin so far. You must find a solution to that problem. You must find a solution to that problem. A solution to that problem must be found by you. Okay. The secretary has already typed the report, simple past, sorry, the present perfect. The reports have already been typed by the secretary. Will they deliver the furniture? Will they deliver the furniture? So will the furniture be delivered? Will the furniture be delivered by them? Must you remind him to lock the door? Must you remind him to lock the door? Must he be reminded to lock the door? Okay. These are all 15 active sentences, and we have just changed them into passive sentences. Okay, now it's time to change passive sentences into active ones. Okay, the tense is always the same. 1, the reports haven't been completed by Jale. Passive. The reports haven't been completed by Jale. So, active form Jale. Jale hasn't completed the reports. Okay, Jale hasn't completed the reports. Two, had the report been sent by you before we were found? So, have you sent the report before you found us? Before you found us active. Is the Independence Day celebrated? When was it last celebrated? So is the Independence Day celebrated here in this country, for example? It means do you celebrate the Independence Day, or do they celebrate the Independence Day, but in passive? So in fact, this is one of the reasons why we need the passive voice. In general, we say, is the Independence Day celebrated here in this country? When was it last celebrated? When did you lastly celebrate it? Was Pakize invited? Yes, how can we turn it into active voice? Was Pakize invited? Passive voice. So, did you invite Pakize, or did they invite Pakize? In active voice and passive voice, was Pakize invited? 5, will one more question be answered? Will one more question be answered? So, will you answer? Will you answer one more question? Will you answer one more question? Okay. Has the suspect been arrested? Has the suspect been arrested? Passive. So, have they arrested the suspect? Have they arrested the suspect? 7, should the floor be cleaned as well? Should the floor be cleaned as well? Or should I clean the floor as well? Yes. I am sure you have noticed that we are studying. It is also possible we are studying the non-continuous active voice and passive voice. Okay, these are all about non-continuous sentences. Okay. 8, sentence A. Must the living room be decorated? Must the living room be decorated, or will the living room be decorated? In active voice, must you decorate the living room, or will you decorate the living room? Ahmet Bey, will Ahmet Bey be seen? Will Ahmet Bey be seen means, will you see Ahmet Bey, or will I see Ahmet Bey? In active voice. But passive, will Ahmet Bey be seen? Will I see Ahmet Bey? Active. When will the old bridge have been demolished? Yeah. When will the old bridge have been demolished by you, for example? Or in active voice, when will you have demolished? When will you have demolished the old bridge? When was I called? Passive. When did he call me? Active. When was I called? Passive. Where is Ahmet Bey going to be met? Where is Ahmet Bey going to be met? Where is Ahmet Bey going to be met? In active sentence, where are you going to meet Ahmet Bey? 13, how many children have been taken to the library by Burcu? How many children has Burcu taken to the library? Active. So, passive. Why do the maps need to be gathered by Meral? So, in active voice, Why does Meral have to or need to gather all the maps? Okay. Why does Meral have to or need to gather the maps? 15. Had the apple been washed by the child before it was eaten? Yes. Had the apple been washed by the child before it was eaten? So, had the child washed, okay? Had the child washed the apple before he ate it? Okay. Now, quiz time about tour 6, trip 9. So, this is the last presentation of the last trip of Harmony 2, level 2. Okay. After this trip 9, as you know, we will study, we will trip 10, and we will have finished. We will have finished level 2 or Harmony 2. Okay. Please choose the correct alternative. 1. Turnip juice will be drank after the ceremony. Yes, drinking can come after B, but when it is active voice, okay? Okay. So, turnip juice will be. Turnip juice is object. So, drank is the second form. We don't use it. So, drunk. Turnip juice will be drunk after the ceremony. C is true. To this website, this website blank, designed by a famous web page designer last month. This website, which one? So it says last month, so simple past, this website was designed, A, was designed by a famous web page designer last month. 3, these student activities should blank like geraniums and begonias. So these beautiful, lovely student activities should develop, yes, model, simple, active, not passive, active, should develop like geraniums and begonias. How many questions should be blank during the lecture? How many questions should be asked? Model, passive, should be asked during the lecture. 5, an exhibition of paintings blank being organized. So an exhibition of paintings has been organized, because an exhibition is singular. Okay, although paintings is plural, so it is one subject. An exhibition of paintings has been organized. This is like this. This is the key of quiz. Okay, vocabulary time. It's time to study vocabulary. Yes, consecutive. This is very useful adjective. Yes, we have studied it before as well. Okay, consecutive as an adjective means numbers of periods of time follow one after or come one after the other without any interruptions, or successive as an adjective. Consecutive or successive. Rıdvan wrote several books for the successive 7 years, for the consecutive 7 years. Who directed 3 films or for the successive 3 years? Murat Bey directed 3 films for the successive 3 years. Okay. Consecutively or successively, yes, sequentially, respectively. Yes, it doesn't have a relation with respect, okay? Respecting people. It's a specific, unique, independent adverb here. Respectively means sequentially, consecutively, successively, okay? As an adverb. In succession, in sequence, and one after the other, one after another, or in a row. For example, Turan Turan read the 7 books consecutively or successively or sequentially or respectively. All 4 are possible. Okay, starting from the first book and moving on to the second and then to the third, etc., until the 7th one. Okay, Turan read the 7 books consecutively. Sequence is a noun, series, string of succession, chain of events, etc. It is the noun form, sequence. Okay, yes, the gift says, yes, one after the other in a row, consecutively, yes. Burhan donates to schools, starting from schools, hospitals, and the homeless in a rational sequence. Okay, who else make donations to schools, hospitals, and the homeless consecutively? Jack, yes, Jack donates to schools, hospitals, and the homeless consecutively, sequentially, respectively. Okay. In a row. Okay. Okay, this is also a useful expression to describe somebody, something as, or to be described as. Jamal's problem can be described as a financial problem. Whose problem can be described as an shopping, as a, not an, as a shopping problem. Yes, Carol's problem or Joseph's problem can be described as a shopping problem. Okay. Now, can you be described? Okay, passive voice. Can you be described as courageous, cooperative, diplomatic, tactful, entrepreneurial, enterpriser, active, by your parents, by your friends, by your teachers, etc. Can you be described as? Yes, I am sure you can be described as courageous, cooperative, etc. Yeah, describe yourself, describe somebody, something as adjective, as active, as adaptable, as constructive, as consistent, as conscientious, as confident, as flexible, as forgiving, as dynamic, etc. Okay. To describe versus to be described. So, to describe is active, to be described is passive. I can describe Faruk's problem as confused, as adjective. I can describe Faruk's problem as confused. How can you describe Jack's problem? I can describe Jack's problem as annoyed, for example, as bothered, as annoyed, as adjective. Who can be described as a bullying person? Unfortunately, Turgay can be described as a bullying person or just as bullying, adjective, as bullying. Okay, he's cheating. The gift says he's cheating. Sinan's problem can be described as cheated, adjective, yes, cheated, passive, as cheated. Whose problem can be described as confused? Simon's problem can be described as confused. There is something confusing. Okay, knowing is for doing. Not a useless word, not a useless answer, sorry, not a useless answer, but a useful answer. Should be given to a useless question. Yes, I think it's a good principle. Okay, thank you very much, and see you next time.